Because of Celsius, are other CeFi platforms and exchanges safe? Celsius, which has obviously stopped customers from withdrawing, and all the current FUD has impacted other CeFi platforms and exchanges. So in today's video, let's take a look at how other CeFi platforms and exchanges are doing relative to each other. So let's go. All right, let's start with Hodlnaut. If you're not aware of Hodlnaut, they are a CeFi lending platform based out of Singapore and an up-and-coming CeFi platform with some of the best rates on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I did a comparison video of them versus like Crypto.com and Celsius in the past, and they were also a sponsor of Bitcoin 2022. So how is Hodlnaut doing? So there's a tweet from their CEO. We have seen $150 million of user withdrawals in the past 2 weeks. At current market prices, that's a net outflow of about 35% of assets under management, or AUM, and more than 90% of those withdrawals are from retail users, which is not surprising given the current FUD in the market. So conclusion is that retail is super scared, so almost a third of Hodlnaut's assets have been pulled out, most likely because these retail users are scared and looking to store in a cold wallet. Hodlnaut's CeFi borrowing and lending business has been impacted, and they are expecting a massively shrinking credit line business as they look to unwind loans. So Hodlnaut is basically looking to de-risk right now, and I think Hodlnaut customers right now, they don't have any issues with withdrawals. You can withdraw perfectly fine, but that doesn't change the sentiment. A lot of retail customers have pulled out. But there are still a lot of whale customers in Hodlnaut that continue to keep their assets stored there. Hodlnaut has also dropped their interest rates on like Bitcoin and Ethereum and USDC. So another sign that they're looking to further de-risk and possibly look towards long-term sustainability. They of course also have an insurance program for clients, but they are a smaller company with lower AUM than other crypto companies. But they have definitely been hit hard by the Celsius situation. Ow! All right, let's talk about what Blockfi is doing next. So Blockfi has recently signed a term sheet with FTX to secure a $250 million revolving credit facility. So it looks like SBF, Sam Blockfi of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX has basically given a lifeline to Blockfi, and this basically allows them a line of credit to access short-term liquidity. So this is a good news for retail users. Like in case the situation occurs where there is a withdrawal run where Blockfi has, some of your assets locked up that is being lent out for a fixed term, Blockfi could essentially access this revolving line of credit to address any short-term liquidity needs. Like in the worst case scenario, let's say there's a bank run on Blockfi and users want to withdraw their assets, just like with Celsius. This FTX credit facility is a very promising sign. It shows that Blockfi is at least credit worthy enough to obtain credit. It's highly unlikely that FTX would give a $250 million revolving credit line to a company that it thinks will fail or has a chance to become insolvent. Blockfi, of course, was exposed to the Three Arrows Capital or 3AC situation. So this move was probably designed to give users more confidence. And this is also a good sign from FTX that they're really being cognizant of what is happening in the digital asset market and understands the repercussions if CeFi platforms like Celsius or Blockfi were to fail, and they understand that their role as one of the leaders in the digital asset crypto market space is perhaps to introduce a little bit of stability. After all, the space is very interrelated and very interconnected. All right, let's talk about Nexo next. So obviously Nexo was one of the CeFi platforms to offer to buy out Celsius and their customers. And just a very quick recap, when Celsius suspended all network withdrawals, Nexo actually extended a formal offer to acquire the qualifying assets of Celsius network. Of course, Celsius rejected Nexo's offer, which has some speculating that the situation at Celsius is not as bad as it seems. And there are others that also speculate that perhaps Nexo just wanted to cherry pick the assets of Celsius and not the customers. The real value, in my opinion, of course, is the customer database of Celsius and the community and all the future revenue those customers could potentially bring. So it'd be not a wise decision just to cherry pick the assets. But Nexo, of course, is a very ambitious company. I think they do want to become one of the largest crypto companies out there, and part of their strategy would definitely involve heavy mergers and acquisitions, and it really looks like they have positioned themselves well for the crypto bear market. They have a very strong cash position. I think that, like Crypto.com, they also want to become the Amazon of crypto. Nexo purchasing Celsius would be like Amazon purchasing Zappos, to get rid of a competitor, but to also consolidate customer bases and operations. Nexo seems to have done a lot of risk management in their past. I think their CFO is also a CFA, so they're running it a lot like a traditional banking business. In their recent AMA, they mentioned that their assets exceeded their liabilities by almost 100%, and they claim their assets exceed liabilities by triple-digit millions.
Yours really has me business booming.
They're also audited by an accounting firm, so overall, it seems like they're poised to do well moving forward. They're also looking to continue to ramp up hiring, whereas these other crypto firms have been cutting workforce. All right, let's talk about Crypto.com next. Crypto.com has also weathered the crypto bear market fairly well. They started making moves in anticipation of the crypto bear market back in March of 2022 by reducing their earn yield rates. Now, there was a lot of controversy at this point in time back in March, with many people saying that they would leave the platform. And of course, further controversy was added when they further reduced the crypto earn yield rates and nerfed the staking reward rates on their Crypto.com debit cards just a few months later. This move obviously received a ton of backlash, with many people in the CRO Crypto.com community saying that the company was disorganized and or lost trust. And of course, Crypto.com responded by compromising somewhere in the middle with a reduced variation of staking reward rates on their debit cards. Now, looking back, it really did seem that Crypto.com was preparing themselves for the crypto bear market well in advance of the other companies. So while there were many users of Crypto.com that were upset, many other users were continuing to lock their assets up in fixed terms for preferential returns, or on the 6-month active stake for a Crypto.com debit card. So in my opinion, the risk of a bank run for Crypto.com seems much more unlikely. They also did not have any exposure to UST or Three Arrows Capital. Just like other crypto companies, they are, however, cutting jobs as a response to the overall crypto bear market. All right, let's talk about Coinbase. Coinbase obviously has been all over the news for a lot of cost cutting. It appears that they overhired during the crypto bull market and now are significantly cutting back. All over my LinkedIn, I see posts of people on Coinbase losing their job. By the way, I know that feeling. I lost my job many times in my life, but I always bounce back. But my wife was not happy with me each time. I don't know why, because someone told me that the key to success was to fail fast and fail often, but I guess it doesn't work. Coinbase is still the institutional darling for institutions looking to get crypto exposure. One of their largest backers is obviously Cathie Wood with ARK Invest, who continues to invest and double down in Coinbase despite the bear market. Now, Coinbase also recently dropped their earning rewards on their free Coinbase debit card, so their top tier earning rate is now comparable with credit cards, which is another blow to crypto. I think Coinbase will be just fine long term, but they of course are also making moves for sustainability during this bear market. All right, let's talk about Voyager Digital, the elephant in the room. Now, unfortunately, Voyager Digital did have a lot of exposure to the Three Arrows Capital situation, and in a press release, they just stated, just a recap on Three Arrows Capital. They were a prominent crypto hedge fund that unfortunately got destroyed by the crypto bear market as they over-leveraged on a lot of their crypto positions, thinking that the crypto bull market would return. In layman's terms, companies lent out assets through Three Arrows Capitals, and Three Arrows Capitals cannot pay them back. One of them is Voyager Digital. So in that press release, the unfortunate news, it basically said that Voyager's exposure to Three Arrows Capital consisted of over 15,000 Bitcoin and 350 million USDC. So Voyager Digital has also entered into a line of credit with Alameda Ventures for 200 million cash and 150,000 BTC to help with any short-term liquidity needs. So they had almost a $650 million exposure to 3AC. They do, of course, intend to pursue recovery from 3AC and are in discussion with the company's advisors regarding the legal remedies available. And wow, the Voyager Digital stock price got hit hard as of the time of this video. I will continue to monitor the Voyager Digital situation so far, but right now, no issues kind of withdrawing any assets. The line of credit is also a major boost of confidence to retail users. All right, so how are our friends at Binance doing? Binance is hiring while most exchanges are firing, the CEO, CZ, obviously says. So at least from the looks of it, from the outside, Binance has been doing just fine, perhaps looking to snipe some good developers in this crypto bear market where other companies are letting them go. And finally, FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, he is essentially in God mode, giving out lines of credits to all these struggling crypto firms and looking perhaps to snipe good crypto companies in this bear market and perhaps to consolidate. I think he definitely understands that what the impact that a failure on one of these platforms will have on the entire crypto industry as a whole. Now, really, in order for mainstream crypto adoption to happen, in my opinion, CeFi still has to be the solution. Like if Celsius were to fail and customers were to lose all their assets, this would of course set the entire CeFi industry back years. Like it wouldn't really matter which platform you support, all CeFi platforms would suffer and would have basically massive drawdowns. Companies like Hodlnaut right now are already feeling the pain and the effects of the entire Celsius situation, even though they did nothing wrong, and the outcome of the Celsius situation is still not yet known. And pretty much there's a large vested interest in pretty much all these exchanges and platforms. And I think they really do want the retail customers of Celsius to be protected because there is such a domino effect on this industry that if one firm were to fail, if people were to lose confidence, like it would just be a catastrophe. Like the customer list of Celsius is a very important asset. It's a much bigger asset than a lot of people give it credit for. So we will continue to monitor the Celsius situation and see what happens next. But with that said, that's just a really quick update on how all the other firms are doing. What do you guys think of the situation? How are you guys reacting? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As with anything and everything, please do your own due diligence and research. Don't trust anyone, including myself, unless you've done proper due diligence for yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. Please like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.